that Deadpool deck you discussed, do you have any sample deck lists I should use to give him a try again? Those reasons you gave are exactly what put me off from him. Just seemed like a really gimmicky aggro deck with maximum effort. Yeah, that's just, unfortunately with Deadpool, it feels like because like the combo was noticed and people are really engaged in the internet space, it just like ruined the hero for a lot of people, and it's kind of sad to me. Um, a deck list I would recommend. Uh, Honestly, you could do a lot of different things. Um, why don't we just go build one on stream? I haven't actually posted any Deadpool decks, but let's go into it. I like that little like rainbow thing on there. But Deadpool. So this is. I'll point out the cards here that I was talking about. We have Katana. Exhaust Deadpool's Katana and take 1 damage. Deal 2 damage to an enemy with piercing. That's pretty decent, especially with his healing. And then we have Arm to the Teeth, which is the card I was saying is really cool. So after you play Arm to the Teeth, search your collection for 1 weapon upgrade from any aspect and attach it face down here. So um, you're probably going to want to think about like what weapon upgrade from any aspect. So you can grab the weapons from the other aspects. So that's going to factor into this here. And then when you have this out, you can exhaust it to swap the attached weapon. So right, so you can like do both katanas and then swap out, get the other weapon, and then on the next turn do that as well. So you get like extra activations, right? And these are restricted, so you can also grab is that a spelling error? Restricted? That's really funny. Is it like that on the real card, or is it a oh, a caps lock is on? Or is it an error? No, yeah, it's just a typo on here. Okay. So, do you have a weapon upgrade that is restricted that you like? Because when Arm to the Teeth is here, uh, it's detached face down, and so right, so it's not in play. So that means you can have 3 restricted weapons at a time. Um, so let's check. How is it that you do like the thing? Is it that? Yeah, there we go. So we can look up what the restricted weapons are in each aspect. I don't think I'd want to build. I wouldn't want to build around plasma pistol. Um, there's none in protection. There is one in pool. So discard bazooka, deal 1 damage to an enemy for each of those icons, and that gets ranged. So and laser swords. So this is something that I would consider. Oh, this counts as 2 restricted. That's annoying. So I wouldn't want to build into that. So I would maybe consider building around bazooka here. Leadership doesn't have one. Justice has the sonic rifle. Aggression has Godslayer, Yarnborn, and Hand Cannon. So, for instance, we could like build a deck. I've built one around Godslayer. I really like Godslayer. And Godslayer is really expensive, right? Normally you wouldn't play it. But with Arm to the Teeth, you don't have to pay the cost. So let's build it around Godslayer. So since okay, so this can be like what we want to build around is Godslayer. So because of that, we can choose a different aspect. So we could do Justice. So we're gonna want to be able to search out Arm to the Teeth, right? So maybe we want to add in like superpower training because that'll let you search it, right? So then since we're doing superpower training to search that, it would be a good idea to get Justice. And Justice, you want a way to thwart. I recently just started, like in 2 days ago, yesterday, I made a video on why people should get into Marvel Champions from a TCG background. Yeah, why don't you just link it here, and anyone else who's here could look at it too. So then I would go into here, Justice. So we have superpower training. We want to find a way to finish that reliably so it's not annoying. So we need to thwart 3 with it. For justice is a good way to do that. Also, if you have a bunch of acceleration tokens on the main scheme, you probably want thwart as well. So we could do a justice deck. Oh, thank you for the tier 1. Another gift. Don't be rash. You're doing so much to help me today. Thank you. You're building my community like almost single-handedly. Yeah, I'm gonna add more things here. So this is an interesting thing, right? Lay down the law could be good because you flip a lot, right? So this could actually be useful, but I'm not gonna go into it right now. Any other 3 threat removal? Not really. Okay, so because we're also expecting a lot of threat to be on the main scheme, let's start by just adding a couple. Let's do 3 for justice, or I don't know. How about 2? We'll do 2. Liebmeister just followed. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. That's awesome. This is really fun. Okay. So we have 4 justice in there to finish superpower training. We want allies because allies are just really, really good. So you don't have to pick the exact allies I pick here. You can pick pretty much anything you want. Why don't we do Spider-Man? And you said you play multiplayer, right? A lot, right? So why don't we do Spider-Man, Peter Parker? Because he can just finish the side scheme out for every player, so then everyone would be able to search the upgrade. So that sounds really good. Jessica Jones would be good because of the side schemes. I really like Eros just because he's cheap and does a lot. What else? Okay, let's do that for now. Oh, also, we want our resources every time, right? You basically always want those. Since I just added a bunch of like cards that are targets for power in all of us, we should add that. Or for the power, sorry, the power of justice. And then basic allies like Nick Fury is just always really strong. Ironheart's always really strong. Professor X is thematic and strong, and with 3 thwart can finish that, so that's a good option. What else do we want? Miles is great because he can come in, you can choose 3 threat if you want, or 4 damage. What else do we want? Just Shadowcat only ignores icons, right? Not tokens. So it doesn't really synergize that well. Okay, so we have 8 allies. That's enough for now. Let's move on. What else do we want here? I really like upgrading my hit points on Deadpool. So that could be good. Where is it? Endurance. You can add 1 or 2 copies of Endurance. Does he have a lot of superpowers? 'Cause if so, event. No superpowers really, so we don't really need that. These are good because you can just build out with them, especially multiplayer. Probably want to add another 4 justice, just to add some consistency to thwarting, and also later on they'll be good. What else should we add here? We have room for 6 more cards. Lay the Trap is one of my favorite cards, and also another target for Peter Parker. That could be good. I'm missing on chat. Yeah, I'll check out your video you made. You did kind of slay a dragon, so that's a big deal. Yeah, I did. I took out a dragon. Thank you. You did pick the dragon, though. I never would have been Daring Lime Dragon Slayer without Don't Be Rash adding that modular. Lay Down the Law is interesting. I was thinking basic for justice for the 3 thwart. I was thinking basic for justice for the 3 thwart. Oh, yeah. For justice for 3 thwart? Yeah, for justice is fantastic here. Yeah, we could add a copy of Lay Down the Law. Lay Down the Law sounds fun, but that's the interesting thing here is if we only have like one copy of it, it's not going to be that consistent. So that is a question. We do have a lot of ways of thwarting right now, so we could do one way or another. And we have Pierre Parker. So this could be a good situation to run a couple copies of one thing or one way or another. You were thinking one way exactly? I saw how much thwart is in this deck. Yeah, that could work good. And now we have 3 more cards. So we could go a confuse route. Do we want to confuse here? Because we will flip down a lot with him. So it's like not a horrible idea to just get confuses in the deck. You could also do a turn the tide build. Why don't we do that? Okay, so we have 3 cards here. Like, you don't have to do this deck exactly the way I was doing it here. Yeah, one thing I think we should do is add 1 copy of the symbiote suit. Because again, like, you don't have to do that combo right at the very beginning of the game, but it does synergize well with this kit. And then later on, like at the end of the game, would be fun to do it, but without feeling like you need to force it. So then that combo's in there. And then we have 2 more cards. So from here, do we want to control the game or do we want to deal damage? I think he has enough damage in his kit to where I don't think you're going to be like lacking damage playing Deadpool. So let's go for control. And let's see. I think concussive blow makes sense. Because you just confuse the enemy, deal 3 damage to an enemy. Clear the area makes sense as well. Yeah, we could do clear the area. You saw that I had the... Also, just adding beat cops to any deck is incredibly strong. You saw that with Hawkeye. So, I don't know. Clear the area, concussive blow. Honestly, it doesn't particularly matter what you add here. I'd say just go off of your preference. With 3 for justices, I might want to like... Yeah, I don't know. I think beat cop just is such a strong card. And then we could just add 3 beat cops. Because getting the beat cop down like is going to be help him control the main scheme because you're going to be adding those acceleration tokens on the main scheme. Every single beat cop you put down basically just ignores that. And then if you want to cut down to 40 cards, you can, but I don't feel like most decks really need to be 40 cards. So I'd say this is a deck. And then for the write-up, why don't I actually... is often what I do with these write-ups is like I spent a lot of time making not that one, like this one for instance. I spend a lot of time making these write-ups nice. So if I go into here, I can just grab the notes and then copy them and then put them back in, and then I just like I pretty much just edit it. So for this paragraph here, so we want to control the main scheme. Build out, and then grab a restricted upgrade. And then this deck specifically is built around grabbing Godslayer. yeah. So this is also like a little bit of the back end of how I make my decks. I'll probably finish this write-up tomorrow or something. Yeah, that's a great example of one that I would recommend. I'll publish this probably tomorrow, and then it'll be public. Also, you can build your own version of it because you don't necessarily have all of the same cards I have. Yeah, I hope that answered the question about Deadpool.